everybody. Welcome to Guess What? It's Gluten Free. I'm your host, Shannon Trelease, and today I'm joined by my lovely guests, Miss Sue Kane and Miss Donna Symer. And today we're going to make gluten-free brunch. So let's get started. We're going to start with some tater tot poppers, and the inspiration from this dish actually came from, the love of breakfast sandwiches, like that really good bagel with like the egg and the ham and the bacon and everything. But then it was, guess what? You can't have bread anymore. So we kind of came up with a new idea. So this is my second time making this recipe. So let's see how it goes. But it was pretty delish the first time. So if you just want to grab a spoon. Now in a plain old muffin tin, we Sue graciously greased the pan with a heavy amount of butter so they don't get stuck. And put 4 tater tots in each one. You put your oven at 400 degrees, and then after they cook for a little bit, you take a spoon and you smush them down. I would use the oven mitt.
Oh.
It's hot.
Well, thanks.
Until they make kind of like a crust on the sides to hold the rest of your ingredients.
Little nest.
So let's get started on the rest of them.
Looks good.
Oh no. So with this, you can really use bacon or ham. For today, I'm going to use Canadian bacon. And we'll go ahead and cut them up into like little cubes. Would you like to cut them up?
Oh, sure.
Here we go. I have a knife. Oh, you have a knife?
You do?
It smells so good.
We'll get those going.
Just in cubes?
Just in cubes is great. So this way we can just put them in each one. I'm just going to put this in the garbage here. So you just layer it up just like you would a breakfast sandwich, and you could really do anything you want with this. You could even make this with like a scrambled egg, because on top is going to go kind of like a sunny side up egg. But if you wanted to do scrambled, you could add peppers. Green chilies are delicious in eggs. What do you like on your eggs?
Cheese, for sure.
Cheese. Oh, cheese is good on
Bacon or any sort of ham item. Scallions.
I like salsa too.
Oh, you can add some scallions. Me too.
So, yeah.
If you want, we have some scallions right there. You can add some.
Perfect.
And have that be specifically yours. You could really tailor this to any of your, brunch time guests. Okay, so just take some of the cubes and put a little in each one. And then Miss Donna, you grated all this beautiful cheese. Here we go.
I'll help you.
And we don't need the
great.
grater anymore. So I'm going to put this back. I also really dig huevos rancheros.
Oh,
We got to do that
great
on the
idea.
episode. I actually don't know how to make it, but I would love to learn how to make that.
I would love to learn how to make that as well.
Well, then
My husband
we'll
is
have
from
you-
Mexico, so that's always a good thing to come up with a Mexican recipe for.
Yeah. Does he make a lot of recipes from
He's
Mexico?
actually getting much more interested in cooking these days.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, he's been having some fun making different things for the kids and I. So.
That's awesome. What are some things that he makes?
He's been making steak. He marinates it in lime and various secret ingredients, I guess.
Secret to you.
Secret to me.
There must be tequila.
There's always tequila, steak, chicken. He's just
Wow.
been making nice rice options, but
Oh, nice.
not gluten-free.
Yeah, okay.
Rice.
But I'll
yes.
take it. Well,
Oh,
rice,
rice.
but sometimes the stuff you put in isn't. Like for us, we do meatless tacos, and so in placement of the meat, I make taco rice. So it tastes exactly like the taco seasoning in the meat, but
That's
nobody misses it. My
great.
kids don't even complain. The
Yeah.
first night we did it, nobody complained. Everybody loved it.
I have to try that.
So it's really good, and it's super easy and affordable to make.
Great.
It's great.
What day should we come over?
So if you want to just take a little bit of the cheese and put it on each one.
Okay.
Okay, and then I will get, and if you want some more ham on any of them,
I think
you
that
can
one's
add
great.
it. I'll put it over here.
Maybe you want to chop up some scallions.
Yeah,
love
would
to
you like
chop.
some scallions? Here, let me get you another cutting board. There you
This
go.
knife worked
Where do you
pretty
want me to
well.
go? Point me in the
Let me put a
direction of
little,
where to go.
you can go right here. Let me just get this under your board. A really nice trick, so your board doesn't slip away from you while you're cutting. Get a piece of paper towel, wet it, put it under the board, and it's like glue.
I
Great
love
idea.
it.
So, a very interesting fun fact about scallions and a money saver tip is that when you buy the scallions, don't cut off the little hairy end. This little end, leave it on, stick it in a glass of water, and then it grows back. And it'll just keep doing that. There's no like, it's like infinite. I haven't
That's
found a time when
great.
it's like, ew, this is gross and I have to throw it out. But it's
And
pretty.
it just keeps growing.
Yeah, and it grows really fast.
That's amazing.
Like sometimes like a day will go by and I'm like, wow, it grew already. It's awesome. And I don't have to really
so you
like
never have
think.
to buy it again. It'll be
Yeah.
the same scallions.
Yeah, you know,
It's
and
like
it's
a
good
fruit
for
cake.
like,
It just keeps going, right?
you know, like for soup
generations.
and things like that.
Hand it down to your kids.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to
I'll
add
switch.
what you want to
Yeah.
Sure.
your own little, I'll move out of your
Take that
way.
out of the way.
Muffaletta.
This is our first time having, my first time having guests in the kitchen, so we're working out our dance around each other.
Yes.
But I'm so happy to have you ladies here.
Oh, we are
thrilled
so
to be
happy to
here.
be here.
So on top of each tater tot, we'll call it a tater tot pop or something like that, we're gonna crack an egg. So when we put it into the
Sounds
400-degree
great.
oven, it's gonna bake just like a sunny side up egg. And this way, when you pop it, it's gonna ooze out and be all that like delicious ooey gooey-ness. But you have to let it cool a little bit so the potato will pull away from the side and it'll be easier to
love
get it
it.
out.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know, me too. It's really good.
Let's see.
It's already smelling
Where should
really
I
nice.
Just do it on here.
Sure. Are
Okay.
you comfortable with that?
Yeah,
Okay, me too.
I'm not afraid of an egg.
Here, and the garbage is right here. So you just pop it right in the garbage.
Perfect.
So, yeah, I just recently was experimenting with green chilies, and those are super, super cheap. They come in a little can, and I know typically they're for tacos, but they are so good in a scrambled egg. It's like not too hot. It has this like kind of earthy, like, I don't know, it's just a pop of taste. It's so, so good.
Yum.
I really strongly recommend trying it because you won't be disappointed. Here, let me get the cheese board out of the way for our next adventure. We're almost through that.
Can I get through the whole dozen without cracking a yolk?
I hope so. We should take bets.
We're getting the shell in it.
We're
Yeah,
getting
I
the
said. I
shell
thought
in
you
it.
said I was getting that. I was like, oh.
Another good tip if you want when you're
good
cooking with
protein.
kids is to use a smaller bowl, because every kid loves cracking an egg.
Right.
Who doesn't love cracking an egg? And if they do that, then you can kind of monitor if there's like shell in it,
that's a good
or
idea.
maybe if it's like not a so good egg. that you get sometimes.
Right.
And you don't have to worry so much, but it still gives them like the independence to be like, I'm a cook. It's great. We actually just attended this Wellness Foundation free cooking class last night. It was awesome. The kids had so much fun. Noah, my 4-year-old, made salad. He made the salad course with a little boy, Owen, and it was just like the perfect thing for them. They had these like not so sharp knives and stuff. It was lettuce knives, and the chef gave them to use them to cut and everything.
nice.
They were so proud of themselves. They were walking around the room asking everybody if they wanted to try the salad.
And it probably makes them
nice.
want to eat it too.
yes,
Because they.
yes, it was
took part.
amazing.
That's so cute.
So if somebody just wants to put a little salt and pepper on each
can do
one
that. You're
and
good at
pop
that.
them in the oven,
That's
they'll be
sugar.
ready to go. And we're going to move on to our muffins.
I'll do the pepper.
So, gluten-free muffins. Let's talk for a second about gluten-free muffins. Gluten-free bread, anything, is always an adventure in itself because you really have to find what you're into because some of them are a little grainy, some of them are a little sandy. And I found this flour with this recipe that I actually took off the package and then tweaked it to like my kids' likes and dislikes. So these are vanilla gluten-free muffins, but the recipe actually is blueberry muffins. I mean, you
that's
can really
good.
do anything with it, and you know, you could substitute anything you want. But they came out great. Like they're so just hearty and gooey. Do you want to pop those in the oven and
Sure.
get them going? And then we'll bring over these ingredients.
Thank you.
Do you want the minute?
Nope.
You're in charge of
All
keeping
right.
that.
Hopefully we'll be able to try those before
How long do they?
the end.
Cook?
15 to 20 minutes,
15
I
to
found.
20. Okay, great.
I haven't really found a more successful way of doing it. But if you know of one, please feel free to email me at thetrelisefamily@gmail.com. And if you have any requests to do on the show, please let me know, and I'm happy to try and make them.
Great.
Okay, that was my little promo. So now,
Little plug.
let's get going with this.
Shameless.
So, Donna, I'm going to have you do 2 cups of flour into the big bowl. And you know what, Sue? I'm going to have you do the wet ingredients in this bowl.
Great.
So it always helps when you separate your bowls into dry and wet, because sometimes when you start putting the wet into like, like let's say there's an egg and then oil and then this and that, whatever, it doesn't mix right with the flour, and you get those little pockets of powder, and it's just, so if you mix them separately and then mix them together, everything kind of gets incorporated in like an easier way. So 2 cups of flour, thank you. Put this back and away. And then we have a cup of sugar. And we'll leave that there just in case we need it.
Add it to it already.
Yes. Yeah, just throw them all in, and then we're going to mix them around. And then for here, you're going to do a 1/2 cup of soy milk. You can use any milk you like. You could use coconut milk. You can use regular milk. I like soy milk because I feel like it adds kind of a sweeter taste to the muffin. But, play around with it. You never know what you're going to like until you kind of experiment with it. So we're going to do that. You're going to take a stick of butter. Did I get the stick of butter out? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Nope, that's for greasing. Okay. You're going to do a stick of butter. And under there, can you get out a mug, please?
So go ahead and put the butter right into the bowl.
We need to melt it.
Okay.
So you're going to put it in here. You're going to put it in the microwave and melt it. And while, maybe like 45 seconds is usually good. And while she's doing that, if you want to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the vanilla in here. So we're not too strict with measurements with the vanilla. With baking, you really should follow measurement directions. But with vanilla, I just do a splash because it just adds that little extra, pop. Okay, so we have that, and we're going to need 2 eggs that you can actually crack into here first so you can check them.
Okay.
And put your butter in because your butter is going to be hot. And then you're going to slowly put them in and stir with a fork. So this way, if you put eggs into something hot, you're going to end up with scrambled eggs. And then you have to throw everything out.
Yes.
So if you do it slowly and mix it, it's called tempering. And it incorporates it easier. And then you don't have that issue. And there's a fork in that drawer right there when you're ready. And you're going to need one as well. Do you guys bake a lot at home with your kids?
We do.
We do.
Actually, since we're sisters, our kids are spending a lot of time together, and we definitely have them baking a lot.
Oh, great.
So
What are kind of things that you bake?
Cookies,
Cupcakes, zucchini bread.
zucchini bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, things like that. It's fun.
Maybe we could do a gluten-free version of the zucchini bread.
There
at
you
some
go.
point.
I love that.
That would be
Yeah,
a lot of
especially
fun.
in the summer when it's growing.
Yeah, let us know if there's like some fun, fresh harvest summertime recipes. I would love to have them because I am a big fan of cooking with super fresh ingredients. 1, I find they're cheaper than the grocery store. And 2, they taste totally different.
They taste much better.
Totally different.
In season.
All right, my friends, so you're going to do a pinch of salt in here.
Okay.
And then you're going to mix everything together. Oh, she got you a fork. Okay. Okay, now I have another one.
Okay.
So I do it this way because I don't have a sifter at home. Do you know what a sifter is?
I do.
Okay, so I don't own one. So this is my way of kind of getting all the dry ingredients together and like happening and having fun together. But if you have a sifter at home, I strongly recommend using it. FYI, for Christmas, family and friends, if you could get me a sifter, that would be great. Okay, so this guy is done.
Planning ahead.
Another shameless
2 eggs, please.
hint.
use it while you got it, you know?
That's right. Work it.
Okay, so that's about it. So then after that is mixed into there, we're good to go, and they can
So do
kind
the
of get
butter
together.
first or the eggs?
I would do the butter first because the butter is what's hot.
Okay.
And give it a mix. I'll take your mug. Doop. All right.
Oh, it smells great.
It does, right? It smells
vanilla?
like sweet.
Yes, it does.
But you actually don't have, like, I was surprised to find out how much sugar is actually in a muffin. But it's not awful. You know, you can always, this recipe actually calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. I find with the sweetness of the milk and the vanilla, it's, you know, you don't miss it. You don't, like, nothing. All right, so while you are doing that, I'm going to leave this to you. And time is moving on, so we're going to move on to our salmon cream cheese roll-ups.
Love it. Shall I get the salmon for you?
Sure, could you please? And I will get the cutting board. We will just clear this. All right. Go ahead and go right here.
I'm happy to say the eggs are not scrambled.
I'm happy to say this is not opening. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Okay, just
we're
pop the whole
good.
thing right out. Now
Put this
here.
into there.
Yes, please. Okay. Now I'm going to stir it, and while I'm stirring it, if you could grease that tiny muffin tin,
Sure.
that would be wonderful.
Sure.
Okay. So for you, my friend, for salmon cream cheese roll-ups, the idea came from, you know, the traditional lox and cream cheese that I used to love so much. And then I couldn't eat it anymore. And I was like, what do I do? So for this, just peel apart small, you know, the small strips. This is a pre-done platter, so it's much easier than having to, like,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
cut it all yourself.
Unless you're a professional, it never comes out.
So go ahead and take some off. I'll get you a knife. Okay, and I pre-did the cream cheese. So you want to get a whipped cream cheese because it's a lot easier to mix all of your ingredients that you're going to add into the cream cheese. If you do a block of cream cheese, you could. It's a lot harder to do.
Right.
So in here, I just cut up some dill and some scallions, and I mixed it together so it makes like a fancy little, you know, I'm trying to think of what it's called. They do butters of them.
Oh, compound.
Compound, yes. So it's like compound cream cheese.
That's a big word.
And then you can always save it for, you know, breakfast the next day or whatever you want to do. So go ahead and get a strip out. And then all you're going to do is take the knife, take a little bit. You're going to spread it onto it.
Across the whole thing or just one section? Or
Do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. You could try for across the whole thing or not. That looks great. Now roll it up. I like the little fancy toothpicks. And stick a toothpick in it. And I'll get you a platter to put it
I
on.
love it.
And that's it.
I love it.
Isn't that easy peasy?
That's a great idea.
All right, so this guy is ready to roll. Now, there's no way we're going to get these cooked and ready in time. So if you want to hold that up a little bit, I had pre-made some muffins, and that's what they look like when they're done. And you can taste them if you want. They're delicious. If I do say so myself.
I love that.
And you should.
And you should. That's right.
All right, now for gluten-free batters. Anybody who has made anything
That
with a
is really
gluten-free
good.
batter, really good, right? You don't even notice it.
Delicious.
So, it always needs a little help coming off the spoon. So I find that if you dip, right, and a tablespoon measuring spoon works perfect because it's about the same size as this.
Okay.
Scoop, drop.
And
Done.
you do the water each time, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
unfortunately you have to.
No, I just want to make sure before I start.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be. And even
It'll
if
be
it's
great.
not, then you can always just restart and dip it, but it helps if you have that in there. This is also, my side thought on that was Lily, my daughter who's 6, this is her favorite part of baking these. Because it's really easy for her to do. All she has to do is that, and that's already pre-done.
Right.
So there's no overflow. And it makes
Right.
it really easy. If you can't tell, I really love cooking with kids, especially my kids, because they're around for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we get a lot done in that time frame.
Get them involved.
Yeah, it's awesome. Especially if they have the curiosity for it. I mean, why not? And just to be fancy, we're going to add a little splash of dill on
Nice.
top.
Now, will that grow back as well?
No, and I've tried. I've tried so many things you have no idea. I even remember when I was a kid, I tried planting an avocado seed because I was so like,
This is delicious.
why wouldn't why
Right.
wouldn't this grow back into an avocado tree or something like that, But
I've done that too. It sprouts, but then what?
Yeah,
Kind
it
of.
doesn't.
That's the whole
Yeah,
trick.
and then that's it, and it's like,
It's not much of a party trick.
So you can kind of decorate your platter with little fronds if you like, or you can decorate these. This is like what I had at the 31 party at the
Oh,
house.
right.
Oh yeah, you ate them.
I
What
sure
did you think?
I love them.
Good. Me too.
Now, you could also cut some of them in half, maybe, and make smaller ones. or
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's
do
a
a
really
few of
good
those.
idea. See, cooking in my kitchen is adventurous. What are things you might add to the vanilla muffins?
I think blueberries would be phenomenal. Any kind of berries.
What do you think of pomegranates? You think those would be good in muffins?
I'm not sure. I'm allergic to them, so
Oh.
I don't really.
Her show is going to be, guess what? It's pomegranate free.
My next cookbook will be, I'm not allergic to pomegranates, but I know someone who is.
Exactly.
Kind of a weird.
Let's
thing to be
see what
allergic to,
happens.
guys.
Oh my gosh, ladies, I think we're in luck. Let's turn this off. Okay, are you ready for this beautifulness?
Oh, yes. Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Very nice.
Ooh, it's so heavy. There we go. There you go.
Wow, that looks great.
Don't touch it, that's super hot. But yeah,
You'd be tempted to, but wait till it cools.
nobody will expect that at your brunch party, right?
That's right. Really
That's
nice.
a great.
Little nests.
And then when you cut into it, it all oozes everywhere, and it's like,
That's great.
My kids are going to go crazy for those. They love tater tots.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like
they
the best.
really do. It's like a big treat for them when they have a tater tot.
I love tater tots. That's where this recipe came from, partly because I was like, ooh, potatoes. And it was kind of like I was bored with making hash browns
Yeah.
and things like that. So
Yeah.
it was just an easy alternative.
Right.
And even the some companies, tip about buying tater tots and even French fries. Some companies coat them with flour so they get extra crispy when you make them, and it kind of preserves them for a little longer. So when you're shopping for them, you really want to look for bags that specifically say gluten-free on them.
Okay, great.
There are, several companies in the grocery store that do that. Look at your beautiful platter.
Right?
I didn't even have to really do anything.
I feel like I've done that
Donna.
before.
Thanks for cooking. This is now going to be called, guess what? It's gluten-free with Donna Symer.
Because I really like being in front of the camera.
I'm trying to think, maybe even we could do savory, like in place of a scone. I don't know if you've ever had a gluten-free scone. I have not
haven't.
mastered it. It's like you kind of bite into it and cough immediately because it's really dry.
Which isn't the reaction you're going for.
No.
It's
Well,
the
you want it to be
sawdust.
flaky and
A
buttery,
sawdust
but,
scone.
I was just thinking maybe we could tweak this a little bit and do kind of a savory ham and cheese scone or
That sounds
something.
amazing.
I think you guys are going to have to come back on
That's
and we'll have this adventure together.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
as long as there's food involved. we're-
Yes.
we're here.
All right. So, I mean, in that, that's really all I had for today. Are there any helpful tips that you guys use at home?
Sue?
I am thinking about that. Wow, that's a good question.
I was thinking about the tater tots and how, you sort of, you use them at first because you're thinking the kids are going to love them, but it's all the adults that start chowing on them, right?
true.
And we're all like, ooh, tater tots.
Remember the last time we tried to put them away and they never made it to the
It's like
refrigerator?
chicken tenders.
man.
The
Yes.
leftovers didn't make it to the fridge.
That's, you know what we call that? We had this discussion last summer, mom calories, right?
yeah.
Because you're always like,
There's plenty of
oh,
those.
somebody left a chicken nugget on their plate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let
that's
me
terrible.
help.
That
Mom
cannot go to
calories.
waste. They're like, oh, there's like 4 tater tots there.
And
What are
they're
they
right here.
thinking? Don't even worry about it. And you don't think about it. It's
Yeah.
so funny. But yeah, we go through that all the time as well. Oh, and I have to make chicken nuggets, don't I?
Love their
Yes,
chicken
I've
nuggets.
heard about
That's
your
great.
chicken nuggets.
The first time Donna ever came over for a play date with her son Sam, I was like, "Oh, I'll make you guys chicken nuggets. Don't worry about it." And she thought I was just gonna like pull out a pack
A
and
frozen
like put them on the tray, and I was
nuggets.
like cutting up chicken and breading it.
I
And
was like, what?
we had an awesome lunch that day.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Yeah,
well, there's
Donna-
only a few.
Donna definitely told me how good those chicken nuggets
Oh,
were.
good. I'm so glad that everybody liked them. That means that recipe has to stick.
It really
I'm not that
does.
strategic with recipes. I'm always like playing around and touching them and stuff. But this looks pretty,
All right.
pretty done. All right,
All right.
well, that's about all the time we have for today. That went really fast, didn't it?
It was fun.
All right, well,
This is a lot of
please
fun.
join us next time on Guess What? It's Gluten Free. And hopefully we'll have these lovely ladies back again. I'm Shannon Chalise, and thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much.
That was a lot of fun.